morning we're taking a tour of the Key West home of author Ernest Hemingway. This is one of his houses. We've also been to his house in Cuba. He wrote 70% of his life's work while living here in Key West.
The house was constructed in 1851 in the French colonial style by wealthy marine architect and salvager Asa Tift. It sits across from the lighthouse and has an elevation of 16 feet above sea level, making it the second highest point on the island. Its 18-inch thick limestone walls protect it from tropical storms and hurricanes. When Hemingway's wife Pauline first saw it, she called it that damned haunted house. But after seeing the potential, she convinced her uncle to purchase it for her and Ernest for $8,000 as a wedding present. By employing out-of-work conks, as native Key Westers are called, the Hemingways restored the entire house. The couple restored the second floor of the original carriage house as a writing studio for Ernest and turned the basement into a wine cellar. Hemingway was married 4 times throughout his life. His third wife was Martha Gellhorn and his last was Mary Welsh. Pauline Pfeiffer was his second and whom he lived with here in Key West, and Hadley Richardson was his first. This was Patrick and Gregory's room. His sons born while the family lived in the house. The master suite underwent extensive renovations as the bathroom was not original to the house. Hemingway had it put in while the work was being done. This was the original bathroom for the house. A cistern on the roof collected rainwater for flushing the toilet. It was used by the children's nanny, whose room is connected to the boys through a doorway. Forsaking air movement, Pauline replaced the ceiling fans with chandeliers. She collected them during their overseas travel. A catwalk once connected the second-story porch with Ernest's writing studio. It was damaged during a hurricane in 1948 and was removed.
So Ernest left for a while for a work trip, and he used to have a boxing ring right here because he was an avid boxer, kept him in shape, and he was actually very good at it. But he came home early to surprise Martha, but he was the one that was actually in for a surprise because he had found out that she had actually installed this pool. He wasn't very happy about it, 1, because of the cost, and 2, because he lost his boxing ring. So he took a penny out of his pocket and said, well, here, you might as well take my last damn cent too, and threw it down on the wet concrete. So she said, okay, pressed it there, and it's still actually over there in the concrete.
Hemingway was up at first light and would write in his studio for 5 to 6 hours. Key West was his most productive time as he wrote 70% of his life's work here.
When Sloppy Joe Russell moved from where Captain Tony's is now to the current location of Sloppy Joe's, Ernest Hemingway had said that he had spent so much money in there, he feels like he owns a piece of the thing. So Sloppy Joe gave him this urinal, and he brought it home and threw it out here in the garden. And as you can imagine, his wife wasn't very happy about it. So that's why she put the colored tiles on it, to at least kind of make lemonade out of lemons. And then they added the large olive oil pot from Spain and recirculated the water and turned it into a fountain.
Today, the stars of the grounds are the cats. Many are polydactyl, meaning having 6 toes, and are descendants of Snow White, Hemingway's first 6-toed cat. Hemingway moved to Cuba from Key West and lived there for the next 20 years. Some of his literary works while there were Islands in the Stream, A Movable Feast, and The Old Man and the Sea.